When you step into a management role, you're bombarded with advice, give timely feedback, set boundaries, delegate tasks, develop your team. The list goes on. It's all important, but let's be real. With so much coming at you, where do you even start? Even experienced managers can struggle to remember it all. Some have even left management entirely, overwhelmed by the complexity, preferring simpler roles without team supervision. But what if I told you that we could simplify this? Today, we're tapping into your potential with just 2 simple actions that makes all the difference. Hello and welcome to Maydaybaiden, where we provide HR support. And this is a community for leaders and people managers to drive team performance and well-being. I'm a chartered CIPD qualified HR leader with over a decade of experience helping leaders level up their people management skills. Today, I'm sharing 2 powerful qualities that can transform your management style: warmth and competence. Why these 2? Because in my experience, they're the golden combination for building trust, inspiring teams, and owning your role as a manager. Let's break this down and see how it works. Imagine this: you just started a new job and your manager walks in all smiles, but then is clueless about what you're supposed to be doing, not sure where anything is, and the priorities of the team are unclear. You may start to wonder, and you probably will be worried. On the other hand, if this manager seemed super organized and knowledgeable, but then came in with a straight face, maybe even looking through you and with a demeanor colder than a freezer in Antarctica, you're not going to be inspired, right? Research by experts like Amy Cuddy, and she's a Harvard psychologist, Vanessa Van Edwards, who is an orator and behavioral specialist, as well as J.P. Phillips, who is a communication expert, highlights 2 questions that people subconsciously ask when evaluating someone, which are: can I trust you and can I respect you? Warmth makes people feel safe. Competence makes people feel confident, and together they create influence. Most behavioral specialists point to Obama as the leader who nails this balance. When he speaks, you feel his warmth through his empathy and storytelling, but you also see his competence in how he handles complex issues with poise. He is a masterclass in leadership. Let's look at warmth. Years ago, I was in a meeting with other senior managers. We were discussing data protection and had an external data protection officer, it is known as a DPO, on the Teams call. He definitely knew what he was saying, but his demeanor and how he was interacting with us was cold and robotic. I remember immediately after the call, the discussion was that he needed to be replaced. The senior management team just could not imagine working with him long term. In fact, the pandemic showed us how the lack of human connection increased isolation and had such an impact on mental health. The Bible also talks about how Eve was created to provide companionship for Adam, and history shows how people gathered in communities, tribes, or groups, and that is how we grew and survived as human beings. And that is why warmth matters, even in the professional setting. It humanizes interactions, builds connections, and creates trust. Research from Berkeley Education shows that connected workplaces improve learning, retention, engagement, and performance. And as managers, we play a significant role in fostering this connection. So 3 practical tips to cultivate warmth. So 1, check in with your team emotionally. For example, start meetings by asking, what's one good thing that's happened this week? It's a fresh, positive alternative to the usual question of how are you? It triggers dopamine, which is a natural mood booster, and creates a deeper, more specific engagement. 2, be present. Warmth isn't about being everyone's best friend. It's about genuine care. That means active listening, making eye contact, remembering people's names, and smiling sincerely. I am smiling because I'm terrible with names, and it's a note to self, but we are talking about teams that interact with frequently, so no excuses here. Psychologist Albert Mehrabian shared that our communication is 7% verbal, 38% tone of voice, and 55% body language. So bear that in mind in your interactions. 3rd is be authentic. Brené Brown is an advocate about how authenticity is about embracing vulnerability while respecting boundaries. And tools like the MBTI or DISC can help you better understand your leadership style, your values, and enable you to lead from a grounded, genuine place. For music lovers, 2 people that come to mind in terms of exuding warmth are Coldplay and Beyonce. Do you agree? Share in the comments below. Now let's flip to competence. This is Justin. He was likable, and in the beginning, his team adored him. But over time, the team's performance lagged. Deadlines were missed, targets fell short, and lack of follow through eroded their confidence in him. And so, to effectively manage your team, you need to have some knowledge, experience, or skills. It is difficult to look up to someone if they are not a few steps ahead of you. And so warmth alone isn't enough. Competence is what drives results. It's like warmth gets you into a car, or maybe it is the car, and competence is actually the driving that takes you to the destination. CIPD has tips on how to achieve this, and I have a summary that I will share the link in the description box. So the practical tips to demonstrate competence is that you need to understand your team's function, know how each team member contributes to the overall success, and align individual strengths with team goals. Second is to show, don't just tell. Share your vision and outline the steps to achieve it. When you make decisions, explain the reasoning behind them. And to do this, you need to understand it yourself. You cannot take a shortcut on this. This builds respect and credibility and actually invites feedback, which unites and contributes to innovation. As Simon Sinek says, great leaders don't just talk about their vision, they execute it with clarity and conviction. So if you can demonstrate warmth and show competence, they create magical results. And honestly, it can be quite inspiring. And I have a few people that come to mind, and I'm sure you do too. And look out for those who can be your role models, coach, or mentors. It is why having a community or a support group like Maydaybaiden is helpful. So let's bring these two big items to working together like peanut butter and jelly or fish and chips. So let's set out an action plan. For warmth, think about how you can connect emotionally. Could you change up what you ask the team at the start of the meeting, or remember something that the team member shared with you that they care about? That's one. For competence, focus on follow through. Start with one thing this week that you said you would do and act on it. That will build the confidence of your team. So just do it. If you're thinking, oh, Sharon, this sounds great, but I'm no Beyonce or Obama, don't worry, you don't need to be perfect. If you stumble with balancing warmth and competence, there's sometimes a level of awkwardness that I'm sure we have all experienced, but your team will notice that you're making an effort and they would appreciate it. And so there you have it. Warmth and competence. It is the dynamic duo to level up as a manager. Just note, however, that I have really simplified this. And so subscribe for more tips and also share questions that you have on management. But remember, leadership isn't about knowing all the answers. It's about showing that you care and proving that you are capable. Start small and aim for the 1% incremental progress, and watch how you transform into a manager who inspires trust, respect, and results. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Maydaybaiden community. Together we will make progress with care. See you in the next video.